Sam, you've probably heard of people living off the grid, but you've probably never seen anything quite like this. CBS 13's Nick James is live in the newsroom with the pro snowboarder who built his own remote paradise in 225 square feet. Nick?
Yeah, you got to see this, Christina. Mike Basich affectionately calls it the cabin. It took years for him to build this thing by hand out in the middle of nowhere. You know, it's a good thing he met us at a gas station off 80, because otherwise I don't think we ever would have found the place.
We followed 25 minutes deep into the Sierra wilderness, through patches of mud, over a single-lane bridge, in an area where the few who live here clearly appreciate their peace and quiet. We stopped in a small clearing where the rocky road ends, making the rest of the uphill journey on foot.
It's quicker by snowmobile than driving my truck.
For Mike Basich, this is a familiar trek.
Come on, Summit. Hey, Summit. Come on.
For Mike, this tiny house on a hill, all 225 square feet of it, is home.
This is it.
And he couldn't wait to take us on a tour.
All right, let's see it.
This is it. Welcome.
You wouldn't expect so much packed in such a small space. There's room for a kitchen and even a fireplace.
I hold the fireplace up on my snowmobile.
Mike's shower doubles as a chair in the daytime.
You just kind of like sit right here at the water off the sink. It drains out through a pipe I put. It goes outside.
Creeks supply Mike's water. There's no electricity, but solar panels give him some juice for lights and even a TV up in the loft where he sleeps. There is no indoor plumbing. Mike says with a laugh, the bathroom is downwind.
What made you decide that you wanted to do this? This isn't for everyone.
It's not for everybody, no. And it's definitely like a combination of a childhood dream and trying to live in the snow. I've traveled for 20 years snowboarding, chasing the snow.
The pro snowboarder is right at home, in the Sierra Granite where he learned his craft as a kid. He's part of a growing number of Americans, 750,000 people by some estimates, choosing to live off the grid. And Mike has a special connection to his cabin. With the help of friends and family, he built it by hand.
It started from scratch. All the rocks are within 200 feet of this area.
Every square inch is a labor of love.
A lot of sweat and tears on this one.
Mike takes in the incredible mountaintop view from his patio or from his hot tub.
This is an old dairy tank that I got off someone's farm, a stainless steel tank.
On some days, he climbs into his hammock, even, he says, when it snows.
Yeah, it's definitely like my napping day. I didn't put this up until I was done with the house, luckily.
Otherwise, you never would have gotten it done, right?
No.
Getting it done was a monumental task. A decade ago, when he bought the property, Mike stayed in a teepee for a year to learn the weather patterns.
So this is what it looked like. This is the front door where I'm standing.
It took 5 years to finish the cabin. Some days he'd wake up to a foot of snow on his floor.
Start a little barbecue up, melt the snow, and get to the day.
Mike had to build part of the road itself leading to the cabin.
That took a while. That was a big project. Cracking a lot of rocks.
A lot of people would say, Mike, you're crazy. Do people say that to you?
Yeah. Well, people are like, I don't know if I could do that.
And he just finished adding a new feature. You have to see to believe.
Who else do you know that has their own chairlift in their backyard? Just like everything else out here, Mike built this one himself. Part of this structure comes from an old ski resort, and the professional snowboarder can take this chairlift up and do what he loves right here at home.
Get in the mix of not having to leave and get in traffic, get in lift lines. This way I can walk out the front door in my snowshoes.
He's off the beaten path, but Mike isn't a loner. Actually, he says more people come to visit him here than if he lived in the suburbs.
It's not big, but it's all I need, and I did it myself, and I don't owe anybody any money.
Living life on his own terms has given Mike a deeper appreciation for things most of us take for granted, like water coming out of the faucet. And he's learned happiness isn't defined by square feet. Sometimes, he says, when you're home, you're home. I'm
lucky. I've worked hard, and I feel like I've finally arrived at home. And I get to now enjoy it. That's what I'm exactly doing.
It is quite a place. So you may have really a few or maybe a lot of questions. Here are a couple we thought we might address. As we said, Mike gets his water from a creek. He says he doesn't filter it. Figures it is clean enough that high up in the Sierra. And what about the bathroom? Is it really legal to just use the woods? We made a couple of calls on this, and frankly, there was some amusement, a little bit of confusion, even from authorities, but from what we gathered, Mike probably doesn't have to worry about it. It is his property, after all.
Yeah, he's far enough out there.
You know.
It's a whole new world.
It's very remote.
Boy. All right, Nick. Thank you.